Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the three quarterbacks that the Las Vegas Raiders are eyeing in the 2024 NFL Draft. But if you're like me, I can't wait. I can't sleep because of how excited I am for the draft. Well, luckily, though, even on nights where I sit there in bed and I'm rolling, tossing, and turning, just instead of counting sheep, I'm counting Jayden Daniels. I am excited to tell you about our sponsor, 8 Sleep. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports. $200 off the pod cover. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So the silver and black, Tom Telesco, Antonio Pierce, they are looking at three quarterbacks, three QBs in the 2024 NFL Draft. You know what's crazy? Chugs, he kind of disagrees with me, and I'll tell you what Chugs has to say a little bit later on today's show. But I want you to plant your flag, okay? Right now. Plant your flag. If the Raiders draft a quarterback, who will it be? Who do you think it is? Because we always talk about trading up for Jayden, yet y'all tell me all the time, Mitch, impossible, not going to happen. We haven't heard too much about J.J. McCarthy, Drake May. Is that just a smokescreen? Are the Raiders eyeing a guy like Michael Penix Jr.? Are they looking at Spencer Rattler? Are they going to draft Bo Nix? Are they going to take somebody even later like a Jordan Travis, Joe Milton? We have talked about so many quarterbacks this offseason, and soon, oh, I can't wait. It's almost over because the draft's almost here. Plant your flag. Give me your comment down below. To me, the Raiders have a plan A plan B, and a plan C right now for the 2024 NFL Draft. And coming up here on today's show, sponsored by 8 Sleep, I am going to tell you what plan A is, what plan B is, some of you probably already know, and what plan C is for the silver and black. If you watch this show and you don't know plan A is Jayden Daniels, then you have never heard of Jeremy Chugs, you have never heard of the Raiders Report, you have never heard of Mitchell Renz, and you have never heard of the number 365, because, and there's no way you're part of the Noti gang either. Shout out to Man Down, Isaiah, Raider Rebel 505 for being a part of the Noti gang, and if you want a shout out here on the show, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and get down in the comments early when I drop a video. So yeah, breaking news. Plan A for the silver and black is Jayden. It's not a secret that Antonio Pierce wants his quarterback. I think it's one of the reasons why he hired Marvin Lewis, because at Jayden's Heisman Trophy ceremony, guess who he shouts out? Antonio Pierce, Marvin Lewis. It's not a surprise that he's here. There is a very interesting and trending rumor going on around that apparently Davante Adams has said that his favorite quarterback in the 2024 NFL Draft is Jayden, which I do think is kind of interesting because you go all the way back to January. Davante said, yeah, I'm on board with Jayden. Then just like a few weeks ago, posts a random photo of Jayden on his Instagram story. Davante speaks his mind. He's not afraid to say it. And I do think that there's some interesting rumors going on right now around Tay, because if one thing that this organization has to do, like what they have to get right, is you have to make Tay happy, because McDaniels and Ziegler, they didn't listen to Davante. And it's also been reported that Tom Telesco, Antonio Pierce, and Mark Davis are willing to trade up and go get their guy. I promise you this. The only quarterback that the silver and black will go from 13 up into the draft for, his name is Jayden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner that had 40 passing touchdowns and over 1,000 rushing yards last season. Coming up, probably maybe the real reason why you tune into today's show. Plan B and plan C at the quarterback position, because I have heard before there's no chance Jayden's going to be a Raider. Okay, let's say on draft day Jayden gets taken by another team. Well, then what do the Raiders do? That's coming up next here on the show. But before I get into that, again, I love 8 Sleep. These guys have really helped me get up to go to the gym. Like I always talk about, like new year, new me. I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to be healthier. I put on so much weight during football season for obvious reasons, right? And in the off season, I try to make myself better. And for me, I like to be able to go home. I like to be able to spend the night with Chuck, with Alex. So my only time that I really have a chance to work out and exercise is in the morning. And I'm not going to lie, there's some days it's really, really tough for me to get up in the morning. But luckily with the 8 Sleep pod, I have improved my sleep. My night sweats have totally stopped. And if you're like me, I want you to go get a better night's sleep at 8sleep.com/chatsports and get $200 off plus free shipping on the pod cover by 8 Sleep. Invest in the rest you deserve with the 8 Sleep pod. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. 8 Sleep's Pod 3 cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling tech that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. In addition to keeping you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics. On average, pod users see their sleep quality improve by 32% after just a month on the pod. And if you go to that link, which if you guys see, Chugs is spamming it down in the comments and down in the description of today's show, we have a lot of different sponsors here on the Raiders Report, and for those that don't know, Alex and I, we're getting ready to move. We're looking at a new spot here, and I'm very excited because I have never had a king-size bed in my life, and I'm about to get a king-size bed. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job here on this show, showing y'all that I have been a lot more awake recently. My sleep's about to improve to a whole nother level, king-size bed, and with 8 Sleep pod, it's going to be an absolute game changer. Let's go to Plan B here. And Plan B, if the Raiders can't get Jayden Daniels, his name is Michael Penix Jr. Because if you're unable to get Jayden in one of those top picks, to me, the Raiders go, okay, cross off Jayden off our big board. Damn, that sucks. How do we move on? The next quarterback that this organization is eyeing, in my opinion, is Michael Penix Jr. I mean, look at this report here from Tafer from The Athletic on Penix. And also what's interesting is the same time that this report came out, Adam Schefter has also said that the Raiders do like Penix. The whispers are getting louder that the Raiders just might take Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. When he says here, he means at pick 13. Penix's stock has risen since he had clean medicals at the NFL Scouting Combine. He is the best deep ball in the draft, but in our book, is still a bit of a project mechanically. To be taken this high, it's bad value. Whether you think it's bad value or not, and if you are somebody that thinks that his mechanics aren't 100% ready to go right away, well then, you know what the Raiders should have done? If you don't have confidence in Penix's mechanics, to me, what the Raiders should do then is you have a young quarterback like Aiden O'Connell who started a lot of games last year, and also for extra security, you go out and you sign probably the best backup quarterback in the league in Gardner Minshew, who also, oh wait, the Raiders have Aiden. Oh wait, the Raiders did that with Gardner. Like, if you draft Michael Penix Jr., even if they were to do it at 13, call me crazy, the NFL is a copycat league. I think Tom Telesco sees what the Chiefs did, and even, Luke Getsy sat there with Green Bay, and they kind of did the same thing with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and they go, okay, we're going to let you sit for 1 year. You're going to learn, and it's going to be between Gardner and Aiden this year. You let Michael Penix Jr. sit for one season and learn, and then you get him back out there on the field for the following year. That's not that crazy of a plan. Next, though, if Jayden off the board, Michael Penix Jr. is not somebody that I want the Raiders to take at 13. To me, I know that there's a lot of rumors that the Raiders tried to get that extra first-round pick from the Miami Dolphins. That's where they want Penix. They want to take Penix to me between picks 20 and 44, right? Let's say both of those are unable to happen. Who's the next quarterback they're going to be looking at? Spencer Rattler. So to me, I am looking at upside here. The Raiders clearly are looking at quarterbacks that have the ability to move, that have a lot of arm strength, but also could be a little bit of a project. But the Raiders are so confident in Aiden and Gardner's ability to start for 1 year and then hand the keys to the next season. I think when you look at all three of these quarterbacks, that's exactly what the Raiders are trying to do. They are trying to put a plan in place. So if the Raiders miss on Daniels and Penix, I think they're going to look at Rattler. According to Jordan Schultz, this one happened this week, Rattler drew interest from half of the league in recent weeks. The team that Jordan Schultz went out of his way to mention was the Las Vegas Raiders. One of the people that is the most well-connected in the NFL, Jordan. And, we talk probably on a weekly basis. He DMs me, IG, Twitter. We kind of exchange ideas back and forth. But, if he's sending me stuff and he's telling me the Raiders are interested in Spencer Rattler, I'm going to believe Jordan Schultz. You don't have to believe me, but I think everybody here believes what Jordan Schultz has to say. He was the Senior Bowl MVP, where the Raiders had some coaches at, and the Raiders really, really evaluate and they love what the Senior Bowl represents, especially at the next level. And Spencer Rattler balled. I actually think that the Raiders would be more on board to take Spencer Rattler than they would Bo Nix. Some coaches. Other coaches, though, maybe not so much. Coming up, what Chugs thinks the Raiders are going to do or could do at quarterback, because we also say this a lot on the show. There's the good NFL teams play checkers. The good NFL teams play chess when everybody else plays checkers. What if what the Raiders right now are doing are playing chess and we're falling for the checkers? I'll tell you what I'm talking about here in just a moment. But are you in the friend zone? Mitch, what the hell's the friend zone? Every single Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 15 people and myself, we're getting on a Zoom call. If you're like, Mitch, that sounds really cool. What exactly does it look like? Well, I did a Zoom call on Wednesday. Had a great time with some of the Raiders OGs here that watch this show. Shout out to Buddy Bear, Carl, Jonathan, Rob, Navman, and my man down there at the bottom, David Zahn, who is lit like a tree. But some of you are like, well, how exactly do I get in? I'm kind of glad they asked. So it's the first 5 people to bang on Venmo. You in. If you don't know what that is, it's a $100 Venmo. Then from those 5 people, we're going to give away 5 entries. You're going to spam their name. Then we're going to do 5 entries from the duck races. So every duck race that we do, until we fill these spots up, whoever comes in last place, you're going to get in. And then if you rip the gong, you are automatically in our call. So if somebody randomly rips the gong, you're in. You're in. So that's how you join the friend zone. Again, every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The reason why I need you all to Venmo, do it on Venmo, is that way I can comment on Venmo. I can get your email. I can get everything set up. That way nobody misses the call. So coming up here, what Chugs thinks the Raiders could potentially do. And, he kind of threw this idea out at me, and I was like, it scares me a little bit, I'm not going to lie, because you all know how I think about Bo Nix. But Chugs goes, what if the Raiders are telling everybody this just to kind of go in a different direction? Because the guy that they truly want is Oregon quarterback Bo Nix. So if you remember earlier this offseason, there were a lot of reports out there that Tom Telesco likes Bo Nix. Also, you've seen recent reports out there that AP and Telesco do disagree on quarterback. What if the reports around them disagreeing on quarterback, because there's some people that are like, oh, well, one guy wants to go Gardner, one guy wants to go Aiden. What if the real disconnect is who they want to go in the draft, because neither of them want Gardner or Aiden to be the long-term answer? And the fact that the Raiders have been linked to Jayden, Penix, and Rattler, what if all of that is a smokescreen just for them to figure out a way to trade back up into round 1 or right in the beginning of round 2 to go get Bo Nix? So my question to you is this. Who would you want at the quarterback spot? But also, let's be smart here. You got to trade up to in the top 3 for Jayden Daniels. Are you going to take a Michael Penix Jr., let's say at pick 13? Are you going to take Bo Nix in round 2? Are you going to take Spencer Rattler in round 3? Pick a quarterback. Let me know down below. For me personally, when I think about when I would draft each of these 4 quarterbacks, and I know one is going to upset some people, but it is what it is. To me, Jayden, I'm willing to go up into the top 3. You tell me where I want Jayden. I'm going up in the top 3. I don't think he's a miss. I think he's a hit with AP. Makes us a Super Bowl caliber team. Michael Penix Jr., I'm willing to take him between 20 and 44. I would still rather the Raiders go Fuanga, Terrion Arnold, Quinion Mitchell, J.C. Latham, somebody like that at 13. And if you need to trade back up to go get him, go get Michael Penix Jr. then. I'm going to target Spencer Rattler in round 3, and I'm just going to tell you right now, Chugs was like, if Bo Nix is available in round 5 or 6, are you going to take him? I don't want Bo Nix on my team. I don't think Nix is mentally tough enough to be a part of Raider Nation. On top of that, I don't think his skill set translates for at least 2 years. If you draft Bo Nix in the 7th round, to me, he's still a quarterback that needs 2 years to marinate. Antonio Pearson Telesco might not have 2 years to marinate a quarterback like Bo Nix. I don't want Bo Nix to be a part of the silver and black. So one more time here, our Raiders draft plan. Plan A is Jayden Daniels. Plan B is Michael Penix Jr. Plan C is Spencer Rattler. And if you think I'm missing somebody, hey, you know where to find me. IG, Twitter, @MitchellRenz365.